You figure out what you're supposed to be doing as you experiment and explore doing stuff. You ain't gonna figure it out before you explore it. Being somebody that never stopped doing it, it has been a very humbling experience to learn that I would have never been able to figure this out. You can't figure it out in your head. You just it's impossible. That's where we get stuck at. Is trying to figure it out. If we trying to figure out if we supposed to be or not supposed to be doing something in our mind. You figure it out in front of you. Then that means you wasn't taking what you was doing and learning and growing from it. Like, so it's like when you make something, you use what you make to grow, and you use what you made to influence the next thing you make, and then you realize that you commit to making forever. So once you commit to making forever and commit to experimenting forever and using the last thing you made to help you guess at what the next thing is supposed to be, because that's what's happening. You just going through and you saying, "Oh, I made this." You study it, you learn from it, you critique it, you try to make it, you try to duplicate it, you try to add to it, you try to remove from it, and then you explore the next thing that caused you to make. And then you use that current thing and do the same process all over again. It's from one drawing to the next. I was drawing with charcoal in high school, but for some reason I thought I wanted to draw with pen. And then for years I'm drawing with pen. I took all these classes, all I'm doing is drawing with pen. So the fact that the most challenging and beneficial thing for me is drawing with charcoal at 45, I'm sitting there thinking that's crazy. It's kind of like I knew before I even knew. And then I went on this whole exploration just to come back to where I started. But I would have never knew how I felt about using the materials that I'm using, charcoal, if I didn't have anything to compare it to. You need to accept what you do. And if you don't accept what you do, then you need to add to what you're doing. If it doesn't feel like enough. But if what you do feels like enough, whatever it is you do, you're supposed to explore that in as many ways as possible. Yeah, but if you don't see it as something, it will have you not knowing what to do. Because you say you don't do anything and then say, all I know how to do is, and then you name the thing that you know how to do. Because you want to believe that you don't do anything. Because subconsciously, being stuck is where you are comfortable being. So you helping yourself be stuck. You're not uncomfortable enough to get unstuck. So if we had to grade comfort of being stuck versus being unstuck, you're more uncomfortable not being stuck. The unknown is more uncomfortable for you than what's familiar. And part of what's familiar is stuck. Because you would really have to ask yourself questions like, wow, why do I tell myself that what I enjoy doing is nothing? And how do I learn to tell myself something different so I can see what I'm doing in a different way? That's what you got to ask yourself. How do I see what I'm doing in a different way than I see it? Because how you see it is contributing to you feeling stuck. Because when you see what you're doing as something, your imagination is going to start to create possibilities of what you could do with it. And the goal isn't to know what to do. The goal is to experiment with the possibilities of what you could do. I had a camera before any of these motherfuckers had a camera in their pocket. Before the camera was digital, niggas was looking at me like, what the fuck are you gonna do with that? I'm 16, 17 years old, surrounded by everybody in school, rehearsing what I wanna do when I grow up, and they all saying the shit that everybody is taught to say. The nurses and the doctors and the lawyers and the architects, this is what motherfuckers is saying to the adults. And I'm not saying that. And no matter what I said, they say, what are you gonna do with that? And I'm like, I really don't even know what the fuck I'm gonna do with it. I didn't know that I was gonna go put a mural up with one of the photographs. I didn't know I was gonna put it on no wood. I didn't know it was gonna be able to pay for my life. I didn't know I was gonna get obsessed with printing. I didn't know photography was gonna go digital. I didn't know I was gonna have a dark room in my basement. I didn't know. None of it existed. The only thing I knew to do was to continue to do it. That was my goal. What do I gotta do never to stop? Because if I never stop, I'll figure it out. That's the goal. So I'm never gonna work a full-time job. I'm never going to go do something where I'm making so much money that the money is satisfying the money need. If I gotta get a part-time job, let me teach the shit that I'm learning. I'm always gonna be learning something new, so I'm always gonna be one of the rawest teachers, because I'm always gonna be talking about the most current shit. I don't wanna work and have to change my mindset. Like, I wanna be in here doing whatever the fuck I'm doing. I wanna go down there and teach and say, hey y'all, look what the fuck I'm working on. Yeah, this is the technique that I use. This was the program that I use. I'm not talking about something different than what I'm already talking about. If I gotta go make money. And if I really need some money, I'll just go do construction, because I can hustle construction. I'm a raw ass part-time person. But I don't want to do that, because if I keep doing that, then I'm always gonna need to do it. So I'm gonna cut that off and figure out how to make more money. But I don't want to shoot weddings, and I don't want to shoot your party, and I don't want to do this shit that people doing to hustle it. I want to make the art make money. I want to make my pictures make money. So I had to cut off how I was making money when I realized, oh, I got a lot of options for this shit that a motherfucker told me I couldn't do nothing with it. So now that I can do 100 things with the camera, with the computer, with the dark room, with the prints to make money, now I can start to cut off what I don't want to do. And maybe that'll help me know what I want to do. The conversation that happened yesterday here is motherfuckers ain't stretching themselves. They defaulting to what they comfortable with, even though they claim that they're uncomfortable. But they really are, y'all clinging to comfort. Like, the real discomfort is in the not knowing. So when you don't know and you stuck, it's because you are not moving further into the unknown. When you don't know and you are growing and developing, it's because you don't know and you're moving towards the unknown. I don't know what's gonna happen next. Shit is fucking crazy. And it ain't always comfortable. I've just learned that if I know what's next, I'm going the wrong way. That's what I know. Because that's what the whole exploration process has shown me. When you know the path, you walk in somebody else's, period. When you know that, based on having to do enough to experience that, you just use it as your default. It becomes how you measure whether you're doing the right thing or not. I know I'm doing the wrong thing when I already got a whole lot of examples of what that outcome is. I look at mostly every artist in this city and I watch what they're doing. And I recognize that I don't get invited to what they're doing. And I know that that means I'm doing something. Because if I was getting invited to what they're doing, it means I'm doing what everybody else is doing. That's my measure. I'm supposed to do the thing that I have a physical reaction to when I think about doing it. Damn, I think I'm about to start putting these murals up on the building. But I don't know how to do it. Okay, well, how did somebody do it? Okay, get some wheat paste. What the fuck is wheat paste? Oh, you gotta mix it. How the fuck do you mix it? Oh, you mix it, it didn't stick. Everything peeled off. Okay, is it anything that's better than the peeled off shit? You know what I'm saying? Then it's like, then I ain't got no printer big enough. So I'm printing up 150 prints off my printer to do it. And then once I start doing that shit, somebody said, hey, somebody's putting this shit on brick and they melting it down. Figure out how to do that. I'm thinking like, damn, how the fuck am I gonna figure out how to do that? But that's exactly what I wanna do. And then it's like, well, how much would that cost? Who doing it? What's the ink they using? What's this? What's the process? What's that? What are you using in the video? Pause the video, YouTube, zoom in, blow it up. What the fuck is that? What the fuck to maybe call it? How the fuck do I figure out possibly how to Google it? So figuring out the unknown with nobody to tell you what to do next is a very doable thing. But what has to happen is you have to adopt the mindset that says, I'm going to figure it out. You got to really structure your beliefs. People making money doing anything. So if people making money doing anything, all you got to do is figure out how to do something. And then if you already know how to do something, you got to learn how to see it as something. Because now you ain't got to figure out what to do. You got to figure out what to do with what you know how to do. And then you got to study people who've done something with it. You can't tell me in the world of visual image and television, imagery, photography, pictures, photographs, and everybody fucking in front of the goddamn camera. What are you talking about? The only thing I know how to do is what everybody we see is doing, which is being in front of the fucking camera. It's a mindset thing. My photography teacher told me in college, next time somebody asks you, what are you going to do with photography? You tell them to go inside of the nearest bookstore and count every photograph in the magazine aisle. And that was all I needed. Because what I heard him say is it's endless what the fuck you could do with this. And then what I learned is it's endless with what you could do with anything. I'm sitting here learning that I'm good at structuring foundations and systems and telling motherfuckers to cut me in on a percentage of their business as something that I know how to do. Learning how to do this. I didn't know creating my own foundation was going to teach me how to understand creating a foundation. Somebody might look at that as nothing. Donald, what's the work you going to do? What you mean you want a percentage? Well, what the fuck I mean is this shit ain't moving and it ain't about to move. And I've learned how to make shit move. So if I can see making shit move as something, I can sit there and say to a motherfucker, how much is that worth? It's the imagination game. The genius, the artist is whoever is figuring out and using their creative problem solving skills and putting them to use, seeing multiple possibilities. You know, some people call this a phone. Some people see a supercomputer. Some people see a camera. Some people see a video camera. Some people see something to take notes. Some people see a tracking device. Like, what the fuck do you mean? You know, some people see pollution. Some people see health benefits. Some people see a scam. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's we're looking at a piece of plastic. So it's like if we can see multiple possibilities in this, you can see multiple possibilities in yourself. Issue has to do with a lack of confidence based on a lack of trust in yourself, based on a lack of experience. See, once you throw yourself to the wolves enough, you're like, oh, I could do anything. And then some people could get thrown to the wolves and it's like, oh, I need to exercise a little more. So the next time I get thrown to the wolves, I don't take off running. But you won't know that you won't know the exercise you need to do if you don't get thrown into the wolves. So I just throw myself in it because I realize that, oh, I'm better. I think about it less and I'm better when I'm under pressure. So all I got to do is commit to the thing that I want to do. And the pressure that comes with it is going to cause me to get prepared before it's time for me to do it. I got a mural commission before I got the printer to print the murals out. I had the commission already. I had already sold the whole thing. Got chosen, got picked, got the money with no clue to how I was going to get the fucking mural up. So I had 1 year to figure it out. And now I had more money than I had ever touched in order to do it. But if I would have tried to figure out how to do it before I pitched, I might not even pitched.